Digimon Evolution. Whether it's the anime depictions of the bonds of friendship making Digimon stronger, or just tons of random data making Digimon into new and exciting forms, Digivolution is a staple of the series and something that sets it apart from other monster franchises. And that being said, there are still many notable Digimon who have never been seen to Digivolve, even in the card game. And on today's video, I'm going to be listing my top 10 Digimon who have never Digivolved. What is up everybody, welcome to another video, and yeah, a month or so ago I did a similar-ish video. That video was actually recorded in January. Time is flying by, I am decaying at the speed of light and everything will end. Back to the video, where I talked about Digimon who deserve proper Digivolutions. In this video, I'm not talking about better versions, I'm not talking about Gardramon becoming Blimpmon or anything like that. I'm talking specifically about Digimon who have never been demonstrated to Digivolve since their conception. Now, of course, there is nothing saying they can't Digivolve, just that we have never seen it happen. Some of these do Digivolve from things, but have never Digivolved further. But before we start this video, I want to talk to you about Zenin TCG, who have sponsored this video. Now, I am very picky about sponsorships, as you know. I'm not just going to take anything that comes into my inbox, but I'm actually really excited to talk about Zenin TCG today, because Zenin is focusing exclusively on Digimon fans. And not just anything, but Digimon products that I think are really hard to find globally, especially outside of Japan. Zenin sells the Japanese Digimon card game, including starter decks, singles, boxes, and playsets, Digimon card game accessories like sleeves and memory counters, Digimon Vital Bracelet and DIM cards, vintage Digimon cards like there's a new set coming out in the current Digimon card game, which is full of references to the old Hyper Colosseum cards, and I kind of want to get the new versions and the old versions, and Zenin TCG is where I'm going to get those from. Plus Zenin's new Digimon Streetwear line, and they recently acquired figures. As you can see, there is a ton of stuff if you're a Digimon fan to check out with Zenin TCG. The biggest thing I've struggled with as a Digimon collector in the UK is finding websites that not only I can trust, but also can find the items for me. It's really tricky, especially not speaking Japanese, to try and search out items that are mainly listed in Japanese. And Zenin makes that really easy. They've got very fast, great customer service at really reasonable prices. You're not going to see any insane markups at Zenin. They're going to get you it for as good a deal as they can possibly do. I am always personally super excited to see more businesses dealing specifically with Digimon, because a lot of the bigger websites that do sell Digimon merch maybe don't know the releases as intently, maybe aren't following them as closely because they're doing all sorts of hobbyist stuff from Japan. And that's why I'm really excited that Zenin TCG reached out to sponsor me, because checking them out, they've really done good stuff and are really focusing and catering to you, the Digimon audience. You can go check out Zenin TCG on Instagram, where you can get up-to-date news on all the new Digimon releases and much more. And check out the link in the description to go check out their shop and their Instagram. Tell them I sent you their way. And thank you to Zenin TCG for sponsoring this video. Let's get on with the countdown. Alright, so in at number 10 is Betsumon. Okay, hear me out here. Betsumon can Digivolve from Gatomon, Mikemon, and Black Gatomon, but has never been demonstrated to Digivolve further. According to its Digimon reference book listing, it's an eccentric Digimon that impersonates all sorts of Digimon in order to confuse the enemy. And it does look a little bit like a predator. It looks like Chris Hansen might be calling it Betsumon.
What are you doing?
But hear me out here. Betsumon does have a lot of Digifuses kind of infusion. And don't get me wrong, they all serve their purpose for the factor of creepiness and funniness, but I just love goofy Digimon. These sort of comedy Digimon like Betsumon, and don't get me wrong, Betsumon is incredibly creepy. I'd just like to see what would happen if he were to Digivolve further in his own right and kind of not be just tied to being like a Digimon in a costume, or maybe just go further with it. I don't really know what a Betsumon Evo looks like, but I know it has a ton of comedic potential. I'm not talking about the coolest Digimon on planet Earth here. I am just looking for something funny, and that's why I want Betsumon to Digivolve. Next up is Yoyoman. Like Yoyoman. And I just think this is really neat. I have something of an affinity for toy Digimon like Toy Agumon, and Yoyoman is kind of scratching that itch. Yoyoman was created by a Digimon fan for the DigiWindow contest, and really just hasn't had much of a look in since. Weirdly, it was added to the Digimon reference book and given official art in May of this year. I'm not entirely sure why that is. It may show up in Digimon Adventure 2020 and they're prepping for it, but usually things get added to the reference book the week they're going to appear. But regardless, it's a really cool Digimon, and again, we are kind of of lacking in really good toy Digimon. Outside of Toy Agumon and maybe Bakermon, although that's more like arts and crafts, I just think Yoyoman has a lot of potential and I'd love to see a through line. Maybe the yo-yo becoming like a spinning top or something. A Beyblade Digimon, oh my god! So yeah, it just feels super strange to me that he got given a reference book entry this year and still has no appearances and no Digivolutions. Get that fixed. And speaking of Digimon created by fans, we have Fumon. Fumon was part of the Digimon Cross Wars fan Digimon design contest. It got made and then really didn't have many appearances either, showing up in Digimon Collectors and some promotional art, but that's about it. And it seems like a huge shame to me. We have a lot of very prominent soccer player tamers in the Digimon franchise, Ty and Davis to name a couple. So you'd figure that a soccer Digimon would be a really good fit for someone, or at least show up to like partner with them. The new anime Digimon Adventure 2020 has made a big point of showing off a lot of Digimon that have rarely been seen in the franchise, and yet in an episode where there was a whole soccer focus, we never saw Fumon. I don't know, maybe it's some latent Britishness in me, even though I don't really watch football or soccer, that I want to see more of this soccer Digimon, but I think it would be cool, you know? We have some other sports Digimon, like Chumon in the Digimon VB, but Fumon's just left out in the cold. He is an ultimate or perfect level Digimon, so maybe that makes things a little bit more difficult, but honestly, I feel like you could slot this into like a Vmon or Agumon Digivolution for a bit of fun and not really have much bother. But also I think he could really do with an organic Digivolution line of his own, something specifically designed for him. But whether you give him to an existing Digimon or make a new rookie and champion for him, someone put time and energy into Fumon, and there are a lot of fan-made Digimon who have gone on to great heights, like Cyberdramon, and Fumon's just sat on his own. I don't know, if I was that kid who designed it for the Digimon Cross Wars competition and it won and then never got used, I'd be a little disappointed. In at number 7 is Pambachimon, and this one really confuses me. Obviously it's a panda bee carrying bamboo. Panbachi is a hybrid of the word panda and bachi, which means bee. It doesn't have a level. It does show up in Digimon Cross Wars, but it doesn't have a level. It's in Disc Zone, we never see it digifuse, so it's just kind of on its own. I would say despite its size, it very much actually could be a Mega. So I think it could Digivolve from Pandamon. I was also thinking it'd be kind of funny if it was a Jogress between Pandamon and like Waspmon or something. I don't know, it's just a really cool little design, and when things like Pandamon exist and it is just separate from it, not even like a slide form or in the same family as far as we know, Pambachimon is a really interesting design combining pandas and bees, and yet seemingly Digimon doesn't know what to do with it or doesn't seem to want to do anything with it. I say that the Pambachimon revolution should be coming, and I think it should be a Mega, simply because I don't like the idea of it digivolving into Pandamon and losing its bee elements. But who knows? Let me know in the comments down below what you think Pambachimon should be or digivolve into or from, but there should definitely be a relation to Pandamon, because come on. Next up are the recent Digimon Adventure 20th Anniversary Memorial Project designs, Equestramon, Ganvivamon, Rurimon, and Piontomon. We are yet to see the 5th in this set, and maybe that's just because the person that designed or won the competition doesn't want to share it, I don't know. But I do love these Digimon so far, and I haven't talked about them in a while, but I still love them, and I know they were created for fans who spent a lot of money, but they're official Digimon, so I want the Digivolutions. I want my Cat Nurse Digivolutions and my Ice Dragon Okay, I already have one Ice Dragon. More Ice Dragons is good. Something really interesting to note is that the creators have come out and said what levels the Digimon are. Ganvivamon is an adult level, Equestramon is adult level, and Rurimon is child level. And I think that's really interesting, especially Ganvivamon being a champion. It's kind of like Gatomon in that respect. I kind of like that that matching lore is there. So a big nurse angel evolution for Ganvivamon, gonna make some people act up. But yes, I would love to see these. Maybe some sort of manga featuring all of the Memorial set partner Digimon that were created by fans. I don't know, I just want to see more from these Digimon, and I think it would be very cool if they got actual evolutions or pre-evolutions. Little baby Ganvivamon, yes please. In at number 5 is Chumon, and what? Chumon is a golden mouse. It's a devious little creature that shows up in Cross Wars, Digimon All-Star Rumble, a bunch of others, and the Digimon Crossloader. This is another one of those Digimon. It plays a much more prominent role in Digimon Cross Wars, being essentially the partner of Damimon, so it has a lot more appearances than Pambachimon, which is earlier on this list, and yet is never demonstrated to Digivolve, or Digivolve from anything. It is the same level as Chumon, they're both child Digimon or rookies, so why have we never seen it Digivolve into any of the Digimon that Chumon can Digivolve into, like Dogmon? Golden Dogmon, as Chumon has this sort of golden cloth around it. It just baffles me, man. I know it debuted in Cross Wars, but again, we are getting a lot of representation of these Digimon, and Chumon hasn't even shown up in the card game. I am so elitist with this list that if they can Digivolve in the card game, I'm not counting it, and Chumon remains unevolved. Fix it, Bandai! In at number 4 is Atame Takachimon. Now, Atame Takachimon does Digivolve from mini Atame Takachimon. This got a focus episode alongside Gaussmon in Digimon Adventure 2020, and for some reason I really thought it was going to Digivolve. I thought for a second it was going to be a jogress between the two into like a bigger dragon Digimon, but I just for some reason thought it was coming and it never did. Atame Takachimon is a sort of joke Digimon, kind of. A big conceit of that episode is that they both have big heads and little bodies, and so maybe it's not the most intimidating, but again, to talk about a different franchise for a second, I'd like it if maybe Atame Takachimon was sort of Toon World Digimon. Maybe Digivolving into like a cartoon Metal Greymon or something. Cartoon Metal Tyrannomon. Just give him a Digivolution. Make him Digivolve into a cartoon dragon or dinosaur. Do it for me. Number 3 is Bakermon. Bakermon almost didn't make this list, but I just think it's so underused. I got a real attachment to this Digimon for some reason, and I can't put it on my top 10 Digimon lines video because it doesn't bloody have one. There are Digimon that it thematically fits with, like Takachimon and Omekamon specifically, but I just want to see more of it, and again, maybe it's my love of toy Digimon or goofy Digimon, but Bakermon just feels so left in the dirt. It's another contest winner, and for the same reason as Fumon, I'd feel so upset if my Digimon got made and then was only used a couple of times. At least Bakermon has been used, that's good, but not in any significant fashion, and I don't know, I just want to see more from it. I have a real soft spot for it, and so maybe it doesn't deserve it as much as some of the other ones on the list, but I personally really want it, and it is my top 10 at the end of the day, and it is subjective. Give Bakermon his Evo. Give him a big cardboard castle or something, you know, something really cool that can be made from cardboard. A cardboard rocket ship. Also, there's a bit of a mystery with Bakermon, like how Gabumon, what does he look like under the fur? What does Bakermon look like under the boxes? I really want to know. In at number 2 is Bun, or Boon, from Come On Digimon. Bun is the partner of Kentaro, and ostensibly Come On Digimon is the first Digimon manga, with it going on to inspire Taichi in V-Tamer 01. To put this into perspective, Bun is essentially the OG partner Digimon before Agumon and even Zeromaru. Kentaro is the original Digidestined, and to this day, the level of erasure, we don't know what Bun's actual Digimon name is. He's named after Kentaro's dead dog, I shit you not, and he has never Digivolved or Digivolved from anything. We don't even know what his level is. His design looks like a merging of Agumon and Koromon, so maybe he's a rookie, an alternative take on what Agumon could be. Where's his evolution? Where's his recognition? Where's his respect? Everything we have is because of him. Not really, he's probably not even significant to Bandai or Toei, but still, he deserves his day in the sun. He deserves to at least have an actual Digimon name given to him and not a nickname, and maybe an evolution or two. Not asking for much. Alright, and at number 1, sure you all saw this one coming, is Detirimon. Listen, okay? First of all, we're going to gloss over the fact that in Japan his name is Pipimon. We don't have to talk about that. It's actually because PPPP is onomatopoeia for a high-pitched noise. Anyway, Oikawa's partner, the final twisting of the knife of Oikawa's story is that he did have a Digimon partner like he'd always wanted. Spoilers for Digimon Adventure 02. And then he fucking died. The beauty of Detirimon is that is this cute little bundle of veggie joy. It represents all that hope and light that could have been its life with Oikawa if he hadn't gone down a dark path. And it still hurts. It still hurts a lot, man. And thankfully we have seen Detirimon since. It showed up in Frontier and Savers. Mild spoilers with Digimon Adventure Last Evolution Kizuna. It's also one of the international Digidestined's partner Digimon. That seems like a bit of a kick while he's down to Oikawa. Someone else got the Digimon you like. Someone else got it. You didn't. You're dead, idiot. It even showed up on the D-Spirit V pet, and yet no Digivolutions. I mean, you could slot it into a lot of Digivolution lines. It could Digivolve into like Palmon, or I guess Tanamon and then Palmon because it is a baby Digimon. I always thought it was in training as a kid. Did anyone else? Maybe it just looks a little bit bigger than your standard baby. Walks on 2 feet, you know? So yeah, put it into one of the flower or plant Digivolution lines or give it its own, but I don't know, maybe as a person, even though I absolutely adore like sad and melancholy endings, part of me wants to see what would have happened if things had turned out nicely, so maybe like an AU OVA where Oikawa and Detirimon get to be friends forever and Digivolve, just to make the pain a little bit less. Alright, that is my list. Do you agree? Are there other Digimon that you think deserve Digivolutions who have never Digivolved? Let me know in the comments down below. Huge shout outs once again to the sponsor of this video, ZNTCG. Go check out their Instagram and links in the description. It means the world to me that people are sponsoring the videos, especially people who are actually catering to my audience, and hopefully we can get you a deal through ZNTCG. Follow me on Twitch. There is a ton of E3 and Summer Games Fest stuff coming up, including possibly Digimon Survive news, and I'm going to be live reacting to all of that, so twitch.tv/Karn_EX. Please do go check me out on Twitch. There is going to be a ton of streams this summer. Super excited to share them with you. And let's thank some channel members. My Digidestined level channel members, the coolest kids: Triple D, Knight 12, Andrew Sobel, Sad Uncle Callum, Crimson Dragon Slayer, and Anthony Bontomasi. Thank you, Digidestined. And my Tamer level channel members. Brand new Tamer, the Blessed Rain, thank you so much. Mew Will, Sam Mallow, NQG420, Nagel, Emily, John Hawkins, Mike McNulty, Theo Navarro, and Reese Williams. Thank you for killing it, Tamers. And to everyone in the Karn Club for supporting the channel. Your support means the world, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.